We screwed up, and we failed to notice until we were nuts deep in development. Hi, I'm Dane of Capriccioso Studio, and if you want to know the worst ways to develop a game, tune in for a cozy ride. It all began just. Wait for it. 3 years ago, when a friend and mentor of mine with connections to a company that just had to squeeze every pretty penny out of the pandemic
We've got to have money.
invited me to an opportunity for passive income from a game that I developed. Being 22, of course I'm up for it. With the promise of royalty fees every time the game is used in online events, the company tasked us to create games for free, and so I did. I envision a game that makes players get frustrated and scream at each other in voice chat and make people hate each other's guts. A cute game based on communication, and what better way to do that than to have a single body controlled by 4 people? Oh right, yet another 2 years ago, I helped make this game in a game jam which was basically the same mechanics but couch co-op. Anyway, so I went to Canva and made this very detailed, complete, comprehensive game design document. No, this is basically it, and to this day, this is still pretty much our entire GDD. Time to get working. This is the part where we cue the montage of sleepless, coffee-driven nights developing the game while working in the Black Company during the day and continuously pestering Nika, who, by the way, is now our studio's artist,
Hi.
to make some cute graphics for the game. A month passed and I finally had a working prototype. I presented it to the stakeholders, they loved it, and wanted Haphazard Angel integrated into their system ASAP. It was stressful and hectic and downright bad for my mental health, and looking back, it was a horrible experience overall, but it was exciting.
This is fine.
After a couple of meetings with some more big and exciting ideas, one thing led to another, and neither game nor events integration happened, and Haphazard Angel was shelved permanently.
Hey, I'm Ruben, and I'm the marketing guy for Capriccioso Studios. I handle the social media and boring PR work that the developers don't even have to worry about. In the unlikeliest chance that our studio does get cancelled because of something that we've said or something that's not very PC that we've said in our streams, that's gonna be a headache for me. But that's besides the point. Before 2023 got cancelled on Twitter, Dane happened to start a game development studio and thought, hey, why not dig up some horrible memories? So we booted up the repository, switched on the server, and named the angel Casviel Balthiul Tabris. In short, Kaz. We fixed a couple of bugs, made it perfectly playable for local games, and the rest, well, it was history.
Hello everyone, I'm Dabbit, the senior Unity developer and co-founder of Capriccioso Studio. I usually do the backend stuff like making things move, making buttons work, and etc. I also do many other things such as helping my fellow developers in their tasks, networking with people, doing admin stuffs, and whatever things that can help the studio grow. Enough chatter about myself. Let me talk to you about how we screwed up things.
Each wing should glow time to time and should only be visible by the player of that wing. What wing? What glow? The issue with the Batwing is that its flap animations is different from others because it uses images rather than bones, which the rest of the wings are using. So what happens is that the glowing of the Batwing is based on which glow is attached on the image. Jesse, what the fuck are you talking about?
To simplify this, there are two ways of animating objects. We have sprite animations and skeletal animations. What we did though was not sticking to one type of animation, which caused certain problems in other areas. What happens when you don't care what your code looks like and don't care if it's readable as long as it works? That's right, it becomes a spaghetti. Using ancient ways of solving problems might work in other fields, but not in this one. We use a very old multiplayer code in making our online and multiplayer features. You might say like, well, that's not bad. It works, right? Yes and no. The multiplayer works, but we run into some issues that is out of our control, like hyping even though a game was hosted locally.
Oh! Sad!
And random times where things happening from one player won't reflect to other players. Making user interface scalable in most devices was such a hassle, since you gotta test it and make sure it's okay in different resolutions. If your game is for Android and iOS devices, good luck! One of the biggest lies you can tell yourself is that you can remember everything and convey it to other people without writing it, which leads to many kinds of disasters.
No, I'm the documentation.
If you're this kind of person,
Stop it. Get some help.
Go big or go home.
there was this bug where when we create a new game session, objects from the previous game appear. It took us a lot of sleepless nights to solve it, because it was one heck of a problem. When the code gets messier, you might just want to leave it and say,
It is what it is. It is what it is.
just winging things can sometimes work, but when it does not work, the problem usually gets bigger. We are very guilty of this by saying yes to everything. We sometimes plan things, but we didn't give consideration to other factors, such as time, manpower, and money. We just set up the multiplayer game locally, instead of making online game lobbies. It's no use in just reworking or tweaking stuffs, since we already have gone deeper into the rabbit hole, and fixing those issues will only delay our development time. Sometimes, all you need is a fresh start all over again. It sucks, but hey, it's like a new game plus where you have all the knowledge from the previous game, and you can do things much faster and more efficient this time. We are currently speedrunning our development, since we already know the ins and outs and how to avoid our mistakes. I guess we didn't start from scratch again. We start from experience this time. Throughout our journey, we have learned a lot of stuff, and we are willing to share this to you so you could avoid the mistakes that we did and improve as well. Always write down the important things to do in a document or somewhere it is easily accessible. In our case, we put our stuffs on a project management software called ClickUp. For the programmers, write a to-do in your code if you need to finish something or make an important feature in the future. You will never know when opportunities come knocking to your doors. There are game journalists and events that are more than happy to showcase your games. But what can you show if you have nothing prepared? Don't wait to make a build when it's near an event, or you might end up fixing bugs last minute. This is to avoid a messy project because you wouldn't want to be experimenting on the actual thing, you know. Sticking to your coding standards will really help you and your fellow team members, since the code that you write is easier to read and maintain. Before we end the video, we would like to thank our 600 plus followers on Facebook and especially C3 Hangouts for helping us grow our community. If you are interested in the development of Haphazard Angel and would want to help us with it, feel free to join our Discord server and get your role as a biblically accurate angel. Invitation link will be provided in the description below this video. You can also help us by wishlisting our game on Steam. That's all for this episode. Catch us till next time.
In our devlog
Number 15, Burger.